Welcome back to moreforlife.com. Once again, I'm Michael Moore. Part 1 of our session with Melissa was all about skin, and now in part 2, we're going to continue her application, moving on to her eyes. We'll start with her eyebrows and move on to her eyeshadow and eyeliner. Let's dive in. The next step of her evolution is we're going to start off with eyebrows. This is where they start. This is where they end, and 45 degrees is going to be the highest point or the arch of the brow. As a person ages, you want to make sure that you do not take the brows out too far or too long, because that will actually bring the eye into more of a downset way. So if you're worried about your eyes falling a little bit, just shorten the brows just a touch, and that will actually give an instant lift and a youthfulness to the eye. So when you're using a brow pencil, you want to go backwards into the hair, and then the same way as you're going into the tail, go into that backwards and then lay it all down. If you need to build it, go back into it to lift up the brow a little bit more. As you add more color, you're getting more lift to the brow. You always want to think about the color of the brow needs to be the same shade as the hair and the tonality, or one shade darker than what the hair is. As we age, our eyebrows tend to soften a little bit more, so make sure that you really emphasize into the brows to give a more youthful look to the face. As I always say, the eyes are supposed to be the windows to the soul, so the eyebrows are the frames to the soul. So with this eyebrow, just make sure you go back into the hair once again, and then you do the tail the same way, laying it down. Do not get wrapped up in your eyebrows looking symmetrical. Eyebrows are supposed to be sisters, they're not twins, so sometimes one brow will look a little bit different than the other. And I know Melissa's sister, and she and her sister do not look anything alike. So we're going to go into the eyeshadow now. Melissa's a very busy woman, and so she needs her makeup to look good all day long, going from early morning into her evening events. So we're going to start off with an eye primer. The eye primer is going to be laying from the lash line all the way up to the eyebrow. This will give her longevity to her eyeshadow, as well as giving her more opaqueness to the eyeshadow and more intensity. For somebody who is a lighter skin tone, make sure that you're using a brighter eye canvas, something that's either your skin tone or one shade lighter. As you get in a darker skin tone, make sure that it really matches your skin tone. It doesn't turn it to a gray lid or more of an ashy color on the lid. We're using your ring finger. Your ring finger has the least amount of power or strength in it, so make sure that you're using that to apply anything around the eye area, if it's an eye cream or any sort of eyeshadow base. And making sure that you're applying that from the lash line all the way up to the eyebrow, any place that the eyeshadow is going to lay on the face. So now we're going to start off with the base eyeshadow. The base eyeshadow should be the same skin tone or one shade brighter, and we're going to use this as a matte color. It's going to go all the way from the eyelash all the way to the eyebrow. Think about this as your very first coat of paint on the wall. You want to apply this with a very large brush, giving you full coverage all the way from the lash line to the brow. When picking the eyeshadow, you want to make sure that the eyeshadow really enhances the eye. So with Melissa, she's got a kind of a blue-green eye. So if you think about the color wheel across from blue and green is red. So if you pick up something like a bronze that we have going on here, or if you've got something more of a browny red or a plum, those are all great colors for a blue eye. Always make sure you tap off your excess eyeshadow so it does not fall down onto the eye. You're going to apply that from the lash line all the way up to the crease, making sure you're getting it right down into that eyelash line so you do not see a line of demarcation. With applying the color from the lash to the crease, you're putting the color that enhances the eye right next to the eye. I always like to think about this being the matting to the picture. When you're hanging a picture, you pick the matting that's actually going to enhance the picture rather than take away from it. And so the same thing you want to think about with your eyeshadow. So we're going to start with a shimmer, and we're going to apply that from the lash to the crease. A lot of people automatically think as you get a little bit older, you cannot use shimmer. Shimmer is totally okay to use. Do not use frost. There's a big difference from a frost to a shimmer. A frost is like a heavy metallic. A shimmer just gives that beautiful radiance to the surface of your skin, almost, like we started with her foundation. We started off with something that gave a radiant, more of a glow to the skin. That's going to give you a more youthful appearance. Do not go to a heavy metallic or a frost. If you're not getting the eyeshadow color you're looking for, make sure that you tap more. With the pressure, you'll always build coverage. Same way with your foundation, same way with eyeshadow, same way with blush, same way with lipstick. To intensify it, give it more pressure. Now we're going to pick a color that's going to give a little bit more depth to the eye. She's got this great almond eye, so I'm going to apply a color into the crease and into the corner, which will give her a lot more depth, but it will also take any sort of slackness that you happen to have on your eyelid, and it will recess that a little bit more for you. So we're going to be using a blender brush. This is what you want to use to apply color into the crease. You want to do a back and forth windshield wiper motion in there when you're applying color to the crease with your eye open. I'm going to pick a wonderful cinnamon brown for her eye crease. This is going to give her depth, going to give her life to the eye. You're going to do this with your eye open, doing that windshield wiper motion back and forth. When you're talking to a person, you're always talking with your eyes. So you always want to make sure that your eyes pop, if it's in a very gentle way or even a more dramatic way. Always make sure that the eyeshadows and whatever you're doing to the eye really bring out the eye and do not cover it up, but think about the intensity you want to do it in. If your brush is not doing it for you, you can always use your fingers as long as there's no moisture on those fingers. Your fingers are some of your best tools. You always have them with you. They're your best tools to give that blended look to the face. If you get too much color on the eye, always go back with the very first brush that you used with the lightest color, and it will always bring down any color that you do not want to see on the eye and softening the color. I'm going to be using a waterproof eye pencil on Melissa. When I do eyeliner, I always want to make sure that the eyelashes are defined up in a beautiful way. We're applying with the pencil right into the root of the eyelashes, going all the way from the inside to the outside, applying it right at the root of those eyelashes where the eyelashes themselves come out of the skin. This will never give a very heavy, hard look. It's going to give a very natural look, but also give her the look of really big, thick eyelashes. I chose a navy blue eyeliner for Melissa, putting it right at the root of those eyelashes. I always believe that any woman over the age of 40 can use a navy blue eyeliner. This will instantly give a very rested look to the eye. But if you're a woman under the age of 40 and you just have a very busy, tired life, pick up a navy blue eyeliner, instantly gives you a rested look to the eye. If you're a woman who suffers from darkness underneath your eye, do not put a heavy liner underneath your eye, because taking the liner out from underneath your eye will give the illusion of not having any darkness there, and it will give a very uplifted look. Melissa likes liner underneath your eye, but we're going to choose not to do it in a very heavy, hard way today. Taking it and applying the pencil right into the root of the eyelashes in a very soft, delicate way will give a beautiful, enhanced look. I'm going to intensify the top liner a little bit more, coming from the top right into the root, above the eyelash line, making sure that the pencil goes right into that root as well, giving the illusion of a very thick eyelash. That's all for part 2 of Melissa. To see her transformation continue, check out Melissa part 3 right here on moreforlife.com. Thanks for watching.